Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMV the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Dynamite 6/19/2024. Taz, Tony, and Excalibur on commentary. We're at Fairfay, Virginia. Eagle Bank Arena. We started off with the match I've been waiting for since last week, since it was announced, since I was told it was commercial free. And I thought they said the whole hour was commercial free, but it was MJF versus Roosh. I had a smile ear to ear as soon as they came out, and as soon as MJF came out, because he's my scumbag, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And it was a fun match, and it didn't go as long as I thought it was going to be, about 17 minutes-ish. I know it's like, perform more, do more tricks, but there's only so much you can tell, in a story. But MJF got the win over Roosh, but it was a fun match, man, and when they announced, commercial free, I'm like, oh, my God, these guys are going to go the time limit, aren't they? Not really. But like I said, it was fun for what it was. MJF doing MJF things. And then we have Gates of Agony and Hechicero, for Forbidden Door and everything that's coming up. And, Hechicero challenges MJF. He says, hey, I will beat up MJF when I want. Then we go to Renee with Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Dante Martin, and Orange Cassidy. They got a big all-star 8-man tag match later on tonight. Mark doing his damn best to motivate the crew, and he motivates me, and I love Kyle's reaction. It was so cute after Jack Perry walks in front of him, and Mark's like, get out of here. Yeah. And then Mark does his thing, and Kyle's like, I will follow this man anywhere. That was so sweet. The love for Mark Briscoe is everything. Then we get into a face-to-face Will and Swerve making it personal. Calling out Will's kids and family and stuff like that. And he really wants to make this match personal. Don Callis' family's watching. Trent's not happy. He's like, look at that. Will's betraying us. Look. And Don's like, look here. What was said tonight, I know Will. He's just going through some things. He's just got a big match with Swerve, so that's on his mind. But trust me and trust in Will. Then we go into our all-star 8-man tag match. Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, Dante versus Kyle Fletcher, Roderick Strong, Takeshita, and Zack Saber Jr. Oh, this is the match of the night. I mean, this was an all-star 8-man tag match. Indeed, they went balls to the wall, and Mark, Kyle, Orange, and Dante get the win. And, of course, Jack Perry attacks Dante. Then we have Mark attack him. There was just all this crazy stuff. But that's what's going on. We get a Mercedes Moné and Steph package. And then we get Roosh backstage. He's pissed about his loss against MJF. But here comes Don Callis, grabs his shoulder, and he's like, hey. And Roosh doesn't know what to do. He's just like, I'm pissed. The bull. Then we get the AEW World Tag Team Championship Eliminator match. Young Bucks versus The Acclaimed. Okada cuts The Acclaimed's music. He's really taking this whole bitch gimmick up, and I'm loving it. Bitches and bitch, and his new shirt says "Hello bitches" or "Shut up bitches" or something like that. I was like, I need that shirt in my life, Okada. And I love the sell of like, oh no, I hit the wrong thing, bitch. Okada, nothing but love, man, nothing but love. Then we got Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata on camera. Of course, they're about to attack the Premier Athletes. These poor Premier Athletes, making their lives hell. Samoa Joe tells Hook, hey, put a little extra spice into this attack this time. Then, of course, they go in there. Premier Athlete's not there. Mark Sterling left the thing. Says, hey, we will face you later on this week. And Joe and Hook like, oh, okay. And Shibata's like, yeah, you down? And Shibata's like, yeah, I was beat those bitches. I think he said bitches or beat that bitch. I don't know. He just said something with the speak and spell. Oh, my God. This is some great stuff, man. Then we get Tony and Mina, the contract signing, hosted by Mariah May. And Mina is saying, like, hey, whoever wins gets Mariah. also the belt, of course. But Mariah's torn, and Tony says, like, hey, look here, you don't talk to her like that and everything. All the frustration over Mariah May and the love. But here comes Saraya, here comes Harley. They're like, we've had enough of this, shut up. But we didn't come alone. Anna Jay, and so attacks Tony, Mina, and Mariah. I was like, man, this sets up a 6-man women's tag match, doesn't it? Oh, yes, it does. It will happen, I believe, at Collision, if I'm right. But this was a fun segment between Tony and Mina. I'm very excited about their match. I think they're going to do really, really well together. And then we go into the Owen Hart tournament package. Our first match of the night for it was Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander got the win. Stokely cuts a promo after, calling out Willow. Willow's like, hey, goes on the screen, and she's like, congratulations, Chris, and she's in the tournament as well. And I was just like, all right, I hope we get down to these two, and these two just throw down in this tournament. That's going to be awesome. Renee with Private Party. I kind of skipped through this. I was like, hey, Private Party. Oh, here comes Jericho. Here comes Bill. And then hearing Bill do the hi voice, I was like, kill me. Stab my eyes out now. No. And Keith. I'm like, the disrespect. I'm like, all right. Daniel Garcia versus Squash Gang. Daddy on commentary, as always. Daniel Garcia gets the win. Cage of Agony, Hechicero come out. They attack. Then MJF comes out. And then he gets his ass kicked a little bit. Then Will Ospreay comes out. And we get a little moment, a tease between MJF and Will Ospreay. And everyone's like, holy shit. And I was like that too. I was sitting on the edge of my seat like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Nothing. But just enough for me to be like, spicy. Will helps up Daniel Garcia. I know Daniel Garcia wants that championship from Will, so we're going to see that one day. Then we cut to commercial. Then Renee comes back with Will, and then here comes Brian Cage, and they set a match for the championship at Collision. Brian's like, hey, I want that championship. I really do. And Will Ospreay's like, well, come get it, bitch. Basically, So we set up that match between those two. Then we go into our final match, and it's part of the Owen Hart Cup. Pac versus Claudio. Brian on commentary. Pac getting a surprising win. Claudio like, fuck. But it was a fun match. They didn't give him enough time, in my opinion. But overall, I think the MJF and Roosh match was supposed to go longer. Because by the time we get to Tony and Mina, that's everything they announced on the Instagrams, the Twitters, and all that. The little card thing they showed, that was everything. And I was like, oh, so this last hour is pretty much these 3 matches and throwing Daniel Garcia in there and the craziness. And by the time we get to Pac and Claudio, I felt like Pac and Claudio got the short end of the stick on this show. But that's just me, because I was like, oh, I wish they can go even more balls to the wall with each other. But it was all due to a quick roll-up by Pac, and Claudio did not kick out in time. So Pac moves on. And Brian was like, oh, shit. Well, we'll see what happens now. But that's Dynamite. My match of the night is the all-star 8-man tag team match with Mark, Kyle, Orange, and Dante versus Kyle, Roderick, Takeshita, and Zach. So go check it out. Dynamite, I give it a solid 4 out of 5. And that's it. That's all. Share with your grandma, share the bum down to Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo created by Penta X. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Wrong button. I'm so sorry. Bitch.